Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences of living here while you had your neighbours?
Sorry. That's a nightmare, really. The foul language, the aggression towards you, the unsocial behaviour, the vomit everywhere outside the front doors, blood where they've been coughing it up, throwing things off the balcony. To start with, there was our little recycling caddies that we had. They got thrown off and smashed. And they would throw food off the balcony. Fish. They used to bring fish home for our cats that they'd take from the fishermen and then throw that off the balcony, so it would all be down in the road. Not very nice.
And how did you feel when you were coming home?
Scared to come home. You didn't know what you were walking into. If Kate was home, I would text Kate to find out if there was anything going on at the time, if it was quiet or whether it was rowdy. If I came home with my husband and they were outside, I would hide behind him, because quite a few of their friends I'd had to evict from work for shoplifting and things like that. So I was frightened that if they saw me, they would react against me. So it was sort of come home, sneak up the stairs and sneak indoors, shut the door as quick as you can. Not very nice, really.
And I understand that you had to do make some adjustments to your own property so that you could feel safe in your property.
Yeah, they smashed the windows twice in 1 week. So the first time it cost us £150 for a call out and the glass. The second time they did it, I said, well, we can't afford to keep paying the money, and we didn't know how long they would be there, so just board us up. So we boarded up the lounge, the front door and the kitchen, and lived in darkness for 6 months. So it's now gone, thankfully.
That leads me on to the next question really nicely. Can you explain to us what life's like for you now?
Wonderful, absolutely. It really is wonderful. We've got the boards down, we've got daylight in. We're going to redecorate before we move back into the part of the flat that we couldn't use before. And it's great. We can walk up and down the balcony. We've got fairy lights out. And we can use it as a social area, whereas before we couldn't. So life is slowly getting back to normal.
Brilliant. And also you were involved in the court process that had to go through for the closure order. Was it worth it?
Yes, definitely worth it. It was scary at the time, but definitely worth it. I'd do it again, definitely.
Can I just ask you then about the support that you received through the process?
Yeah, we've had brilliant support from the local PCSO, Neil, and his boss. I'm trying to think of his name. They've been absolutely brilliant, calling us on a regular basis, making sure we're okay, or popping in to see me at work. They've been really, really supportive, and the council's been absolutely brilliant as well, especially Andy.
Thank you for giving us your time to talk to us today. Could you tell us a little bit about the experience of living here?
Ever since the tenants moved in next door, life just turned upside down. We used to be very sociable here, and it meant that we couldn't use our outside space. We were constantly confronted with aggressive behaviour, noise, foul language, banging constantly from next door. You just didn't know what was going to happen next. They smashed in a car around the building. My neighbour's windows got smashed in twice. They were aggressive towards the glaziers who came to repair those windows. They threatened them as well. you're just fearful as to what was going to happen next. Just didn't know when you were coming home. You were concerned about what you were going to come home to. So I used to contact my next door neighbour and ask what the situation was, and likewise if things were getting, you could feel the tension building and they were getting rowdier and more aggressive, then we'd warn the neighbours to let them know they might want to keep a low profile.
Right, okay. And how's that changed now to life now?
It's fantastic. We're back starting to use the space outside. We're building up our confidence because we're still a little jumpy. I don't think it's quite sunk in fully that they've gone, but it's just brilliant now. We can go and stand outside and have a cup of coffee, have a chat. All the neighbours are getting together. It's just brilliant. So life's restored.
Brilliant, thank you. And the process of being involved in this with the local police, the local council, having to be in courtrooms, give witness statements and all those things, do you consider it was worth it?
Absolutely. The landlord was failing to be able to evict the tenants, and so Andy from the council and the local police have been absolutely fantastic, very supportive in helping us resolve the awful situation which we were in. Definitely anyone who's in the same situation to go through it.
Thank you. So for big brands, not for so much for smaller brands, I know Co-op do stock quite